Okay, we are officially recording. Hello, everybody, and happy Friday. Welcome to the Friday edition of our little Realtour tutorial. Um, I don't know how familiar some of you are with Realtour. I think a couple of you already had accounts already, so maybe you're familiar with some of the products, and then some of you are not at all. So don't worry. We're going to go through the products. I am going to keep it a little higher level today just because you guys are sales reps and you're not exactly using the products the way a real estate agent would. But don't worry, we'll go through it today. You'll get an idea of how everything works. And then if you ever want to deep dive into it more, you can always do a one-on-one with me. Or if you have a client who wants to use it, you can set up a one-on-one and I will train your client. And usually when I do an agent training, it's like an hour and a half long. And we don't want to do that today on Friday. We want to keep this down to sort of 45 minutes kind of thing. So I'm gonna just jump in, and at any time you have a question, just holler, right? Because once I start talking, I get going, but feel free to interrupt me. It's all good, no problem. Okay, so first of all, can everyone see my screen? I am logged into my Realtor account and I'm just moving my mouse around in the middle there.
Yes.
Okay, perfect. Okay, so I am logged in to my Realtor account and I'm on the home page that we call the dashboard, okay? Everybody has the same home page. Everybody who logs in, whether you're a real estate agent, a sales rep, or one of our photographers, we all land on the same page, okay? So nothing's different. We're gonna go through our four main products, and these are these top row of big buttons right here. These are the four main products that our clients use us for. They use us to book photo shoots. They then make a virtual tour, which also we call single property website. It's just whichever terminology you're familiar with. They then send out an e-flyer, right, to the community, and then they can also use us to make their print material so they can hand out stuff at the open houses. So these are the four main products. And these are the ones we're going to go through. Again, we're not going to deep dive into them and show you every single thing because we'd be here for too long, but I'll give you an idea of how our clients use our system so that it makes sense to you, okay? So let's pretend that I'm a real estate agent and I just got a brand new listing. The first thing that I'm going to do is book a photo shoot, okay? Now that's the ideal situation. Not all agents have professional photography, but they really should. And I always tell agents, listen, this is the least you can do for your marketing is to book a photo shoot because you can get a basic photo shoot for as little as like $130 and then you end up with 20 to 30 professional photographs, which it means everything for your listing, right? Everybody's looking at pictures, everybody's looking at slideshows, everybody's looking at stuff on your website. They want to see crisp, clear, professional photos. So I always tell them, just do it. Invest the money, it's worth it, even if your listing is small, okay? The other good thing about booking a photo shoot through us, all photo shoots come with a free virtual tour, okay? And our platinum virtual tour is worth $30. So it doesn't matter. You can book the cheapest photo shoot you want. You'll still get a free virtual tour and you get to use the print material for free, okay? So it is a win-win-win situation to book a photo shoot. All right, without further ado, I've got my new listing. I'm going to book my photo shoot. I simply click on the big button, okay? And I land on what's called the listings page. Now we're in my account and all of these listings in my account are just fake listings that I make up so I can train people. But if I was a real agent, I would land here and I would see all of the existing listings that I've already created in my account. If I'm brand new, then I won't see any listings, okay? So that we're seeing a lot of listings because we're looking at my account. On every product, you land on the listings page. They're always divided into two columns. These listings are ones that already have the product. So in this case, these listings already have pro photography. I've already done photo shoots for them. These listings do not have pro photography. I may have created listings in the past just to do an e-flyer or something, and I was going to use my own pictures. And then I came back and decided, you know what, my pictures stink. I am not a photographer. I'm going to book a photo shoot with one of my existing listings, okay? So your listings will always be stored in your account until you go in and manually delete them. We store them and all of your marketing materials are stored with them, okay? Let's say that we've got a brand new listing. I don't have an existing listing on this page. I need to come over here and create my listing. So I'm going to click that. You always, always, always have to create a listing if you don't already have it to get started. That's how we organize everything, by listing. So I'm going to land on this simple little page, and all I have to fill in are the ones underlined in green. It's really just the address, right? Because we can't do anything if we don't have an address. So let's just make up an address. Let's call this 123, let's just call it Friday Street because it's Friday. I'm going to choose Austin just because it's the one city I know zip codes for. 78701, there's my zip code, and it automatically defaults to my state and the country I'm in because when I created my account, I entered that information. So I don't have to do that stuff. And you'll notice as we go through, any time that we can go ahead and auto-populate fields, we go ahead and do that. So the client doesn't have to, right? You can always go in and edit them. If Texas was wrong, I could go in here and choose the actual state I'm from, but 99% of the time it's right, and then you can just leave it. All right, as soon as I filled these in, I can create my listing, okay? But you'll notice optional, add more details. If I'm not in a rush and I want to spend some time, I can open this up and I can fill in all the listing details for my listing, okay? And this will come in handy later because all of this information is going to auto-populate into my virtual tour. And if I want to make an e-flyer, a bunch of this stuff is going to auto-populate into that e-flyer template, okay? But you don't have to. Sometimes you get the listing and you just want to get that photo shoot booked and then you're out the door to a meeting. So you don't have to do that, okay? All I have to do is hit create listing and I'm on my way. Now I apologize, there's usually a slight delay when we're on webinar, so pages can take a second to load. Okay, so here we are. This is the page that shows me all of the available photographers who are going to service the zip code of the listing I just created, because Texas is a really big place and not all the photographers are not going to cover, you know, the entire state, right? So they set up which zip codes that they are able to cover, and then if their zip codes match the zip code of your listing, they will show up as someone you can choose. So I can scroll down here and see that I think there's 6. There are 6 available photographers in the zip code. I can look at them and see what services they offer. And most importantly, I can see their availability, which days are open, which days are full. So let's just choose David. Let's say David is my photographer. Maybe he was recommended to me. Maybe he's the guy I always use. I love David. He's my guy. I want the next available shoot, which look, he's got time tomorrow, which is amazing. I'm just going to click on that day. The next page will show me all of David's packages and his pricing, and he's got a lot. He's got a full team. So he does basic photography, he does videos, aerials, Matterport, floor plans, he does everything. So you can scroll through and take a look at all of his stuff. But maybe I just want a basic photo shoot. So here he's got a small package for houses that are up to 2,000 square feet. You get 30 images, it's 150 bucks. Perfect, that's all I need. I just select the one I want, hit continue. It brings me to the next page. This is where I tell David anything he needs to know about accessing the property. So we automatically default to meet me at the property. But if I'm not going to be there, maybe I'm going to give David a lockbox, right? I'm just going to tick there, fill in the code. Maybe the owner's going to be there. I can fill in that information. Anything he needs, any additional instructions, I can type it in. Like maybe there's a dog in the yard, so look out for the dog. Or maybe the homeowner just did some work on the landscaping. They want you to take a couple pictures of the yard. Make sure you get that in there. Anything the client wants the photographer to know, they fill it in. When they're done, they hit continue. And guess what? I'm on the shopping cart page. That's it. That's all I had to do to book my photo shoot, right? I just filled in, I created my little listing and all I needed was an address, chose my photographer, chose the package I wanted, added any instructions, and then bingo, I'm on the shopping cart page. So you can literally book a photo shoot in less than 5 minutes, especially if you use our photographers on a regular basis. Most of our agents will book the same photographer over and over again, and they often even book the same photo package over and over again. So it's super simple. When you get to the shopping cart, it's just a review of there's David, that's who I'm booking from. Here's my listing address. This was the date. There was a driving fee for that one. Okay. There was my price for my package I chose. And then you'll notice Platinum Virtual Tour free. That's because, as I mentioned, you get a free Platinum tour with every photo shoot. Even though I only chose a simple one, I still get a free tour. Okay. Once I pay for this, the order goes through the system. David gets the order in his Realtour account, and I, the agent, will get an order confirmation email from Realtour. Okay, now I'm going to delete this so we don't accidentally order anything from David. Jump back to the dashboard. That's how you do a photo shoot. Super simple. Okay. Next up, our clients will typically work on their virtual tour. Okay, so I'm going to click on virtual tours. And again, I'm on the listing page, just like when I did my photo shoot. Here are all my listings. Here's the listing that I just created, 123 Friday Street. It hasn't been started yet. It doesn't have any pictures yet, so on and so forth, because I just booked the photo shoot, right? So let's say David goes out tomorrow and does the photo shoot. At the end of the day, he uploads all the pictures into his account. He has a Realtour account with a back end where he can upload the pictures, and then he clicks a button and it sends all those pictures into my account and it creates the virtual tour. At which point I get an email saying, hey, Jana, your pictures are ready to go. Here's a link in the email. Here's a link to download the pictures at 5 different sizes. Here's a link to the virtual tour that David made for you. And if you hired David to do a video, or if you hired him to do a Matterport, links for all of those pieces will be in the email, okay? And then I can log into my Realtor account, come to the virtual tours, and there's my tour all ready to go. Okay, so that's what would happen if we finish the photo shoot. Okay, but to save us some time, I'm going to choose a listing that already has a finished tour, and we're just going to go through the back end step by step so you can see what it looks like. So here's 111 Main Street. This is one I've done ages ago. Let's open it up. I'm going to edit the tour, okay? So at any time, you can come in and edit your tour. Even if the tour is finished and paid for and it is out there on the internet, you can always come back in and edit it. Maybe the price dropped, who knows? It doesn't matter. You can edit it, change whatever details you need, and then it's live again. You never have to republish it or anything. It just updates in real time. The next person who clicks on a link to watch your tour is going to see the most recent version of it, okay? So that's the beauty of doing virtual tours. So I'm going to click on Edit Tour. Okay, it's bringing me into the back end, okay? So up at the top, we have what we call the navigation bar, right? So across the width of the top are all the different sections of the virtual tour. You will see this in all of our products. Whether you're making print material or an e-flyer, there is always a navigation bar so you can jump around, okay? The reason is because a lot of these features are optional. You may not want to do them, so it's annoying to have to go through every step, right? You might just want to upload your pictures and then jump to the shopping cart, and that's it. Keep it simple. Lots of people love a very simple tour with no bells and whistles. It's totally up to the client, okay? So the very first page in our navigation bar is the property details page. Now it might look familiar because this is where we created the listing when we ordered the photo shoot. We only saw the top part, right? And when I expanded it, we saw everything else. So this is what the property details page looks like when you have pictures and you have filled in all the information, okay? And you really do need to take the time to do this because all this information is going to show up in the front end of your single property website / virtual tour. Okay, if you don't fill it in, then your audience is watching it and they don't see the information. So it's always worth it to do it. Next up are the photos. Okay, so if I had booked a photo shoot like I did from David, when I come to the photos page, all of my imagery is sitting here, little thumbnails waiting for me. I don't have to do anything. It's amazing. There they are. I can click on them and change the order of them because the order that I'm seeing them, this is the order they show up in the virtual tour. So I can move them around. If there's a couple that I don't want, I can delete them. I can also, you'll notice if I click, I can add a little caption. So if I want to type in some information about the picture that I want the viewer to notice, like maybe there's new skylights in the kitchen or we've got marble countertops or whatever, I can go through each image and type in a little caption if I want that to show. And this is just a pop-up window. When you're done, you just close it. If you want to go back, you can open it up again and there you are. You can, so it's really, really easy to use, okay? Keep in mind, you do not have to book a photo shoot through us to use our products. Some of our clients have photographers that are not affiliated with Realtour, and that's totally fine. Some of our agents still go out and take their own pictures. Whether that's a good idea or not, they still do it, and that's fine. You can come in and make a virtual tour, and you can upload your own pictures, okay? You simply click on Upload Images, navigate to wherever you have them saved in your computer, upload them all at the same time, and they will show up in here in little thumbnails, okay? So it's all good. You can use your own, or you can use a professional photographer, or you can use our photographers. Also, you can download all of these pictures at 5 different sizes just by clicking, and then it will download a nice zipped folder of all of the pictures. Now, right now, if you've booked a photo shoot, these pictures are saved in your Realtour account. right? And they'll be saved there basically forever, but they're not saved just on your computer. So you might want to save, you might want to download them at the biggest size and save them onto your computer, because then you're going to send them to a marketing person who's going to make you some flyers, or you want to send the pictures to the homeowner so they have a, a keepsake of the home that they're selling. Either way, you can upload your own images and you can download these images and have them saved on your computer, okay? You'll notice we have tabs for various different types of media. If you have panorama pictures, I think I have one in here. These are kind of retro. They're a bit old school. I don't really know how many clients are still getting panos done because video is kind of taken over. However, if you have panos, you can upload them here. If you have a video, this is just a little 5-second video I took of my home office just to show you guys that you can upload videos and have them in here. A number of our photographers will do video walkthroughs of the property, in which case they would upload the video in here under the video tab. Same with Matterport. If you've hired a photographer to do a Matterport tour, then you can enter the code right here. You just paste the code for that and it'll show in your tour. You can also add custom links. One of our photographers does Zillow tours for all of his clients. And so then he'll come in and there's a link, just like Matterport, there's a link that he'll add in here and it will show up in here. So this is where it's housed. You don't have to do anything with it. This is just where it's stored, okay? Floor plans. If you have a floor plan for the property, you can upload a JPEG or a PDF or whatever, and the floor plan will sit here, okay? And then we have all your headshots and logos. Now, I always recommend when someone creates their account, when they're first creating their account, under My Account, they should fill in all of their contact info, set up their social media links, and then upload their headshots. They might have one or two, and upload their logos. And they might have one or two logos. They might have a color logo, a black and white logo. Either way, when they first make their accounts, I always tell them to do this stuff because this stuff will auto-populate into their marketing materials, okay? And then you don't have to do it manually later. Obviously, I have a bunch of headshots and a bunch of logos. Again, this is all just for testing and training, okay? So that is the photos page. There's a lot going on that page. Don't worry, the other pages are way simpler, okay? For example, next up is the map. You do not have to do anything on the mapping page. This is just a Google map, and we've dropped a pin where the listing property is. And all you need to do is make sure that that pin is in the right place, because sometimes Google doesn't quite get it right. If it's not in the right place, you can just click on the pin and shift it to where it should be. Maybe it should be right there instead, okay? Good to go, easy peasy. Floor plans, completely optional. Lots of people do not have a floor plan, so you could skip this step. But if you do have a floor plan and you want to include it in your virtual tour, you can upload it in the photos page under the floor plan tab, okay? And then it will show up here. And then if you want, here are all of your pictures from the photos tab. You can drag and drop pictures and drop them onto the floor plan, okay? There's a bedroom, there's a kitchen. And then when someone looks at your floor plan in the front end, they can click on the little camera icon and up pops a picture of the room, okay? So that's an optional thing if you want to do that. Flyer. Okay. If you have already made any flyers or print materials for this listing, they'll show up in here as a thumbnail, okay? If you haven't, no problem. This page will just be empty. You can always leave the back end and make a flyer and then come back in, jump right to the flyer page, and it'll be there waiting for you, okay? And then you can use it, or you may not want to include a flyer, right? It's totally up to you. If you have a flyer and you want to use it, I might have dozens of flyers, who knows? But let's say this is the one I want. I just drag it over here. Now this is going to show up in the front end and I'll be able to download a PDF of it from the virtual tour if I want to, okay? Super easy to use. Next up is branding, okay? Again, this is totally optional. So when you land on the branding page, and yeah, it takes a minute to load, this is actually the bottom of my virtual tour, the contact section, okay? Now the background is just default to dark gray, but I can change the colors. I don't really want to click on stuff because I'm afraid that it will, every time I make a change, it will reload so you can see it in real time. Maybe I'll do it quickly. Let's try blue. I just don't want there to be a delay in loading. Oh, that wasn't too bad. Okay, so you can play around with the different colors. Maybe you choose a background color that matches your logo. You can choose between 6 different fonts, and then all the text will change to the font you want. At the bottom, of your virtual tour, it will show all of your existing listings if you want. So the default is set to show all of your listings so that it's just extra advertising for you. But if you don't want that to happen, you can just tick hide my listings. You can feature 1 or 2 agents. And then this is an example of where I said things will auto-populate. Because I have a headshot and logo loaded into my account, the system always takes the very first one. So the first headshot I had uploaded was this one, so that's what it is, and that's why it shows up over here. If I want to change it, I can simply click change, and a pop-up comes up, and I can choose a different one. Same thing with the logo. I can also hide my headshot, I can hide my logo, okay? All of this contact information here is just what you see over here. If I need to change it, I just change it over here and this updates automatically. So what I'm looking at here is just a little preview of what the actual tour is going to look like. But we always find it's way easier to, tweak when you can see the changes in real time, right? It just makes it easier for you or the agent. Okay, so that's what you can do in the branding page. Pretty simple stuff. Next up is SEO. A lot more people are familiar with SEO now, search engine optimization. Historically, when I would give these tutorials, people had no idea what SEO was, but people are starting to understand it a little better. This is optional, but honestly, you can add some SEO keywords here in literally seconds. So really take the time to do it. To make your life easier, we have dumped in the property description that you added on the property details page to describe the listing. We've placed it here. So you can just take keywords, oversized gas stove, and you can copy them and put them in here. Or you can type in here, 4-bedroom house. Basically, what you want to type are keywords that someone who's looking for a house, what they might search for in a Google search or a Chrome search or whatever it is, right? Wherever they're searching for real estate, what kinds of words would they be looking for? Family home with swimming pool, downtown Austin, whatever it might be. You can type in keywords, pool, views. And when you're done, you just, that needs to be a comment. When you're done, you just hit update. Now these keywords are stored in the back end of the code. And if someone goes to Google and searches for a 4-bedroom house with a pool and views, there's a much better chance that your tour or single property website, whatever you want to call it, will show up in the results on the Google search. Okay? So easy to do, and it really is important. But optional.
Jenna, I have a question. So with respect to that, where all does everything get syndicated? Does it get syndicated on certain websites already?
No, so basically, what you're making in Realtour, you're making the finished product, but we don't send it out anywhere for you, okay? Because we don't want to be in control of that, and we don't want to deal with the timing. Because a lot of our agents will come in, they'll come in and make the tour. They might make the tour and be finished and pay for it, but they're not ready for it to go live yet. They just wanted to have it ready. So we don't want to do that. We don't want to step on anyone's toes. And like the minute you pay for it, it's live on 5 different websites. We don't do that. And in the past, we have tried to set up being able to send your tours automatically to your local MLS, but they just don't allow that yet. I'm hoping they can, because that would make everyone's life easier, right? Imagine that you finish your tour and we have a nice little button that just says click here to send this to, these different websites. Anyway, basically I'll get to the links page and that's where your links will be. And then it's up to you to copy those links and place them in the places you want, whether it's on your website, whether it's on the MLS, any sites you want to put it onto, you can do it that way.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, no worries. Okay, music. Again, completely optional. Within the single property website, we still have a virtual tour. Okay, this is where it's kind of confusing because a lot of people call the single property website a virtual tour. They're actually not, and I'll show you from the front end. The single property website is really just a static slideshow with information about the listing. You can click on a link that will open up a virtual tour, which is basically the same slideshow, but it moves nicely and it has transitions and you can add music. And we still have clients who love that old school virtual tour. We changed it to a slideshow because we found the bulk of people do not want to sit through a presentation. They want to just look at slideshows and click, 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 at the speed they want to see the pictures, okay? However, we are not fully getting rid of the virtual tour because we still have a number of clients who love it. If you want to add music to the virtual tour portion, you can do that here. So you can click on any of these and it'll play a sample. If I click on them, you guys won't hear them. It'll just come through my headset. But you can tick the one you want. If you don't want music, you can just tick no music, okay? So no problem. Music is really easy. Next is preview. This is where I'm going to click this and see how quickly it loads. Oh, it's pretty good. So this is where it pops up a preview of the virtual tour slash single property website, the whole thing, okay? But don't panic. This is only live in the back end of Realtour, okay? So it's on the internet and I can play with it, but don't worry, it's nowhere outside your account. No one else can see it. So if you're not ready for the world to see it, don't worry about it. This is your chance to preview it and proof it and make sure everything works, okay? And to see what it looks like. So this is what it looks like. It looks like a website, right? It's great. It's a very simple website that features my one listing. Okay, so here's my contact stuff at the top. Here's my slideshow. And as I said, I can just click next, next, next and go through all the pictures at the speed that I want to. I can scroll down and here's a gallery, right? And I can click on these and they'll pop up full size and I can look at them. I can scroll down more. Here are my property details. Here's all the information. We also have the ability to download that flyer because remember I dragged and dropped a flyer. I can also forward this to a friend, right? It pops up. I can put my name, the email address of the friend. Hey, Bob, I found this amazing property. I think it's what you're looking for. Send. And then Bob, whoever I'm sending it to, gets this virtual tour. Okay, so that's a nice feature. If I scroll down, remember I included a link to a Zillow tour because some of our photographers do that. So if I have that, I can watch it right here inside my little single property website. And the same thing with Matterport. If you've hired your photographer to do a Matterport tour, it will be housed right here. So you don't have to leave the single property website to view it. You can view it right here. And then I can scroll down further. Here's that little video. Now this is a crappy little video. I literally just took this 5-second video of my home office just to show you guys that you can have your video housed right here in your virtual tour. So I'll stop that. Normally it would be a nice video that hopefully your photographer has taken. If I scroll down, here's the location. And again, this is a Google map. So I can click inside and move around, right? Just like I would if I'm looking at Google, I might want to see, okay, well, here's the listing, but what's nearby? I want to zoom out so I can see what's around it, right? Easy to use. I decided to include a floor plan. So there's my floor plan, and here's my little camera icons. But this is optional. You don't have to have the floor plan in here if you don't want. And then I also decided to include all of my other listings, right? Just because the listing that I'm featuring might not be suitable to you, but maybe I have another listing that is. Now here's just some sample ones. I can show more, and then you can see all of my listings. And I have a ton of listings in my account. None of them are real. They're just for testing. Okay, and I can show less. And then if I scroll down to the bottom, there's my contact section. And that's what we were looking at when we were on the branding page. Okay, so when you're done, you have a nice, neat and tidy, simple little single property website. And as I said, you can make this little presentation as simple as you want. Some of our agents will just upload 15 pictures. They'll have the property details and the map and then their contact information. And that's it. It's just super tight, neat and tidy. They don't have bells and whistles because maybe the listing doesn't warrant them. Who knows? It's up to you, okay? As I mentioned, the virtual tour portion, here's a link. If you want to watch a moving slideshow with music and transitions, you would click on virtual tour and it loads and it plays here, okay? But as I said, I mean, we still have a handful of people who like this, but we find most people don't really want to watch it. People are in a rush. They want to zip through pictures really quickly, but you know, we still keep some of these things for our clients who like them. So I'm going to close that. Okay, so I'm going to go back to the dashboard. That was oh, sorry, one more thing in the virtual tour just to show you quickly, I forgot, is the links page. Where was I? Going to go back into edit the tour. So that was an example of how I can exit the tour and then go back in. So during that preview, if I noticed a mistake, I can go back into the back end and maybe I made a mistake in one of the photos. Maybe I made a spelling error in one of the captions. I can come in and fix that. Maybe there's too many photos. I'm going to delete a couple of them. You can always jump back in and edit your virtual tour even after it's live. It doesn't matter, okay? The last part of our navigation bar is the links page. This is where the links to the tour are stored, okay? So we have branded versions, which will show the agent's contact information, and we have unbranded, and that just depends on the MLS or where you want to put it. We also have code that you can copy and it will embed it. If you have a website that you have on your own and you have a web developer, or if you manage it yourself, you can embed these tours directly into your website with this code here on this page, okay? So here are the links to what you can do on the links page, or sorry, the tabs. You can also have a domain name if you want to purchase one for $19.95. You can have it say whatever you want. Maybe it's the address.com. You can download a QR code. These are free. We don't charge for QR codes. You can download a JPEG of it. Maybe you want to send it to the person that's making the signage, or maybe you're hiring a designer to create your flyers and you want to have that QR code so that someone can scan it with their phone and up pops the single property website, okay? YouTube. A lot of our clients have their own YouTube channels for their real estate business. So you have 3 options where we can generate the video and post it to your YouTube channel if you want. If you don't have a YouTube channel, option 2, you can generate the video and it'll be housed on the Realtour YouTube channel, okay? So you have options there for that. Oh, here's my custom link. Oh, that's my developer, Carl. Here's my custom link for Zillow. Again, this is just stored here for me if I ever want to copy the link and use it. Maybe the client just wants a link to the Zillow tour, so I can copy it and send it to them. And last but not least, statistics. Every single Monday, we send out statistics to all of our clients for all of their listings. So if I'm a client and I have a virtual tour single property website for this listing, I might want to know how many people have viewed it. What did they click on? That kind of stuff. So every Monday, I get a report that tells me what kind of clicks and what kind of viewings I got on that virtual tour, or if I sent an e-flyer, how many people clicked on it, how many people opened it. I had links in there. Which links did they click on? Okay. So the agent automatically will get these statistics. Okay. But I have the opportunity to send that same statistics report to my client. Maybe the owner of the house who's selling it, I want them to also see that I'm doing work for them, right? And I want them to see these stats. Or maybe I don't. Entirely up to you, okay? So you can set that up on the statistics tab. Okay, we are done going through the virtual tour. It is probably our biggest, most complex product. So I did rush through that a little bit, but it's really just because I want you to see that you can choose from all the bells and whistles, or like I said, the bulk of our clients like to keep things very simple. You have your property details, you have a nice, clean, edited slideshow. You don't need 50 pictures. It's just too many, right? You might want to have the map in there, which is it automatically does it for you, and then you can just head right to the shopping cart. Or if you booked a photo shoot, it's free. I don't have an add to shopping cart button because I got this free because I booked a photo shoot. If you have your own pictures, you can buy a virtual tour, and then your last button would be add to shopping cart. Once you pay for it, all the links become live. Okay, so that's how that works. I'm going to jump back to the dashboard. One sec, I'm just going to tell my developer that I am on a tutorial. Otherwise, he's going to continue to buzz me. Okay. Okay, we're back to the, whoops, back to the dashboard. The third product I'm going to go through with you guys is the e-flyer. It's a lot faster, don't worry. There's a lot fewer things to do with e-flyers, but it's important because honestly, the e-flyer is our biggest selling product. It always has been, and it probably always will be, okay? So the bulk of your clients are going to want to use us for e-flyers. Hopefully they'll want to book a photo shoot, they'll get a free tour, they'll send out an e-flyer, and the e-flyer will link to the tour, right? So, I mean, these all work together. Okay, let's make an e-flyer. So I'm going to click on e-flyers. And again, I'm on my listing page, okay? You always end up in the same places. We don't want to confuse our clients. Once you get familiar with the site, they know where they're going. They're always going to land on their listing page. They can create a new listing if they want, because some of our clients only use us for e-flyers. So every time they want to do an e-flyer, they're creating the listing. But I've already done a photo shoot. I've already done a virtual tour. I can find my listing for 111 Main Street, and under options, I can create a new flyer. So that's what I'm going to do for today. Okay. Again, across the top, I have a navigation bar. Again, this is so that I can jump around through the process. I might get to the end and discover, whoops, I forgot something. I need to jump back to the beginning. It's just easier to jump rather than having to go next, 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 back, back, back. Okay. Now the system is taking me directly into the library because it assumes that I'm ready to go because I've already set up my property details when I ordered the photo shoot and when I did the virtual tour, okay? But just so you can see, if I jump back to property details, it's the exact same property details page as you saw in the virtual tour, okay? If I have any existing flyers, they'll be housed here. So I have two little thumbnails. I can always go into an existing flyer and edit it further, and then I can send it out again. Sometimes we'll have clients who will make a flyer, and then the following week, they just want to reblast it out. So they can come in and they can just click on resend, and the system remembers where they sent it to last time, and they can just in seconds blast it out again, okay? Or you might want to delete it. Whatever you want to do, these are all of your existing flyers. So let's go back to the library because we're going to do a new one. We have all these categories over here on the left with all different kinds of templates. So for example, let's look at styles and themes. If I open that up, here are all the different styles, okay? Let's say that I've got a luxury listing and I want to click on luxury. Suddenly over here, my little thumbnails of luxury templates will fill up the screen. Okay, we've got that many. But if I want to narrow it down, I can choose by color. I want to do a black one because I think that'll look really nice. It narrows it down to these luxury templates in black, okay? You can also choose by city. We have templates that are, designed to feature certain cities. We have templates for the holidays, Christmas and New Year's and Thanksgiving. We have templates where you can choose number of images. Some people just want a template that features one image, like this template just has one image. We have other people who are like, all I want to feature are images with very minimal text. We have templates with 6 images, okay? So you can do that. You can also go by number of listing. So if you want to send out a flyer advertising an open house and you're going to do 5 or 6 open houses on the same day, you can choose a flyer that features 6 listings. There's room for 6 listings. You blast it out. It's for doing an open house tour, basically. Okay, and number of agents. There's some newsletters in here. If you want to send a Christmas newsletter and you want to blast it out to all your personal clients, you can do that. Okay, so we have all these different types of templates. Now, if I want to see what this template looks like close up, actually, I'm going to choose a different one. Bear with me here. One that's got a little more stuff in it so we can see. Let's say we're going to do an open house. And let's go back with the black. Okay, so if I want to see what these look like bigger, under options, I can hit preview and it pops up nice and big. So this is what my template could look like once I have entered all of the content. Looks great, love it. If it's the one I want, I can just select. If it's not what I want, I can close and go back to the library. But let's select, and it takes a few seconds for the system to create the template. Except on webinar, it's usually double the time, but hopefully it's just a few seconds. There we go, it's not too bad, okay? Okay, I'm back in the back end. I was in the library, now I'm in the template editor. And you'll see that here's my template sitting here to my right. If you scroll down, you'll notice that this template is already auto-populated with a bunch of information. Hurrah! My address is already in here. My property description is in here, my price, my logo, all of my contact information, my headshot, everything is already in the template. Why is that? 2 reasons. One, on the property details page, I took the time to enter all that information. And when I created my account, I uploaded my headshots, my logos, I added my social media. I did all that when I made my account. And I always tell people it takes 5 minutes to fill in that little form, and then it will save you time when you get to the template editor because bingo, it's already done for you. So really, all I need to do now are add my pictures. And over here on the left is what we call our little photo bucket. Here are all my pictures, okay? And all I have to do to get them into the template is just click on one and drag it and drop it. And there it is, okay? And I can do that for all of my little picture slots. Let's get a bathroom. Let's get a bedroom in there. Oh, let's get the swimming pool. Okay, and when I'm done, I hit save. And then the system is going to render the template, which just means it's completing. It's really placing everything. So I can see a better idea of what it will look like when it's done. Great. Awesome. Looks great. Now, just because the system has auto-populated with content, it doesn't mean you can't change it. If I mouse over these text fields, right, I can click in them and up pops a little text editor over here where I can edit this text. Maybe I don't want these last bullet points. I can just type in here, maybe I want to, add my own content, right? I can add my own, and I have some basic options. I can left align, center, I can change the font color, I can use italics or bold, I can change, make the font bigger or smaller. So I have some basic things I can do over here. It's just a mini text editor. We don't want to get too complicated because we try to set these up so that the finished product looks good. We don't want people enlarging or shrinking their text so much so that the finished product, you can't read it. So we try to save people from themselves by doing the bulk of the work for them, okay? When I'm done making my changes, I just hit save. Again, the system's gonna render and then I'll see my changes right there in the template. So again, it's a little slow. I apologize. We're on there. Add my own content. There it is. Now, obviously, this is the wrong date, right? So whatever it's going to be, November 24th. Save. Okay. The nice thing about this template editor, you can also, if I wanted to go back to images, if I wanted to update an image, I can just click a new image and drag it right over top of an old image and hit save. Or, and as soon as it's done rendering, I'll show you one more quick thing, and then that's basically all we need to do on this page. The other thing is that if there's any information in here that you don't want, like for example, maybe I don't want to show the price. I want them to phone me. So I click in the price field, I can just click over here and delete, hit save, and it'll render and it'll just remove the price and there'll just be a nice white background. And the same thing goes with any of the image fields, okay? If I don't want my logo or I don't want a QR code, I can just click and remove those and then they'll be gone. And then there'll just be a black background, okay? So you have a little bit of freedom with the templates. We don't give people too much freedom, largely because we have found over the years, most of our agents don't want to do the work. People like the idea of having the freedom to create their own templates, but when it comes down to it, they don't want to do the work. It takes too long and it's hard to make something that looks good. So we've basically set up fairly rigid templates so that you can't mess around with the layout because we want you to have a really nice looking finished product where everything's lined up, pictures are sized nicely, all that kind of stuff, okay? So that's why we kind of keep them a little bit, rigid. All right, next up, we've done images, we've done text, subject. You have to have a subject when you blast out an e-flyer. Just like when you send an email to anybody in your office or anybody, you usually put a subject. You have to have a subject line. So you can type in whatever you want, like, I don't know, I'm not a real estate agent, but amazing family house for sale, right? You're gonna type something that, is enticing, makes them want to open it up. Save your subject, you're done. Links. Okay. You can link your e-flyer to as many sites as you want. Most people, when they blast out the e-flyer and someone gets it in their email, they want people to be able to click on it and they want it to go to the virtual tour that we just made, right? So that they have that nice single property website / virtual tour of their listing, has way more pictures, has way more information, okay? So to save everybody time, we go ahead and auto populate the link to your virtual tour for this listing right here so you don't have to do it, okay? But if you don't want it to link to that, you can just delete that link. Or if you use a different vendor to make your virtual tours, that's totally fine. You might only use us for e-flyers. You might make your virtual tours somewhere else, in which case you can copy and paste the link to whatever tour you want right there. You can also add a link, like maybe, right, like I've got my own website. Let's just call this www.jana.com, right? Or you may want to add a link for, visit Austin. And then you just put whatever link, www.austin, I'm a terrible typist, austin.com, save my links, okay? So then at the bottom of my e-flyer, I'll have all these links that people can click on and go visit other websites if they want. Last, social. If you took the time to set up your social media links when you were creating your account, they'll show up here, okay? If you want these to be posted to your links, keep these selected. If you don't, unselect them, okay? Easy, easy peasy. All right, the next step is the view proof. This truly is one of the most important steps of making an e-flyer. I cannot tell you how many times an agent blasts out an e-flyer and they didn't proof it, and then they phone us in a panic because, uh-oh, it's an open house and they forgot to put the time or the date, or they put the wrong price, or they have a big fat error somewhere in the address. right? And they're in a panic. Sometimes we're able to stop the e-flyer from going out. If there's a big queue ahead of it, like on a Friday, which is a really busy day, I would be able to go in and delete it. They could go in and fix it, and then we could do the blast again. But I can't always do that. Sometimes it goes out lickety split and it's too late. And then everybody you sent it to has this flyer and they've got the wrong information. Then you have to go and do it again, and it just looks very unprofessional, right? So I always tell people when I'm training them, it only takes 5 minutes to look at the proof. And this is what it's going to look like. Here's your subject. Here's the flyer itself. Take a look at it, proofread, look at the pictures. Here's my contact information. Here are the links. And you'll notice I could click on each one of these links and it will go. I can click on, what did I put for my website? Jana.com. I don't know if that's a real website, but I can test it and see if it's, oh, it's really slow. Anyway, you get the idea. I can click on all of these and make sure they go to the right place. I can click on my social media stuff, make sure those go to the right place, okay? If at any time you see there's a mistake, I can use the navigation bar and jump back and edit, and then jump back and proof, okay? I can also send a proof to my client. Enter their email address, put a little message, hi Bob, here's the flyer. Let me know if you like it. If you want to make any edits, I'm going to blast it out first thing tomorrow morning. Send a proof, and then Bob, your client, gets a nice picture of this, and he'll be able to say, oh yeah, I love it, or no, 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 use that picture of the pool. Either way, your client's happy, right? And there's no surprises, okay? When you are done proofing it, the next step is distribution, and we can click continue, or you can click distribution. Either way, you're going to land on the same page. This is where we tell the system where to send this e-flyer to, okay? Once again, to make everybody's life easier, when you land on this page, we're on a Google map, and we've gone ahead and created a basic target zone for you with your listing address smack dab in the middle, okay? So you can look over here at the summary and see that area 1, target area 1, has this many agents, and it will cost this much if you want to blast it out, okay? Great. And we can also see for you guys, your clients are going to have a 25% discount, which will show here. It says Freedom Title in my account, but it will say FATCO Title or FATCO Corporate Discount 25%. That's the real price. Okay. However, if I'm not happy with this target area, it's got little handles. I can drag them in and make it smaller. I can make it a different, shape. I can click on it and move it. Maybe I want it to be down here instead. Every time I make changes to this, this updates. Now I've got 1,000 agents. It's $18 with my discount. It's only $13. You know what? I'm much happier with this. I want a more targeted hit, right? If I'm happy with that, I can move on to the next step. If I want to add another target area, I can add a second one. And maybe this one is even smaller and I want to move around my Google Map, zoom in. Maybe I just want to hit one specific neighborhood, right? Who knows what kind of listing I'm advertising? Some of our agents will have 3 or 4 target areas. Oh, there's 51 agents in that target area. It's like 50 cents, easy peasy. Scroll back out. There's my 2 target areas. If I'm happy with that, great. You'll notice up here, we've got 3 options, okay? Select your target areas. We're done. Add contacts. This means that in addition to blasting this out to just people in a map area, you can also send it to specific email addresses. So if you have your own list of contacts, maybe you have your gold star clients that you always, always, always send your listings to because they always want to be in the know. You can type in their email addresses, or you can copy and paste them, or you can upload a CSV file if you have an Excel spreadsheet of all your clients. Once you upload them, if this is a list that you're going to use over and over again, you can give that distribution list a name and then you can save it. I've got 2 distribution lists in my accounts, one to all of our photographers, one to this is an old one. These are our clients, anybody who ever ordered from us, whatever, in 2021. If I want this flyer to go to these people as well, I can just tick one of those boxes. And now it's going to go to those people as well as my target area, okay? In some cases, you don't want to send it to anybody on the target area, in which case you would just delete these 2 target areas and you can just use contacts instead, okay? So you have a little bit of freedom with who you're going to send it to. Third and last, setting a send date. If you just leave this alone, the default is as soon as possible. So the default to send this out is today, as soon as possible. If I'm good with that, then I can just proceed to the shopping cart, pay for my order, and it will enter the queue and it will go out. However, if I want this to go out at a specific time, Like maybe I'm making the flyer today, but I really want it to go out tomorrow morning. I can just click tomorrow morning, and then I can select, you know what, early morning between 6 a.m. and 9 a.m. Then I can proceed and pay for it, and tomorrow morning between 6 and 9, it will enter the queue and it will go out then, okay? So that just gives you freedom to set up your marketing stuff ahead of time. If you're going to be out of town, you're going to be in a meeting, or you're going to be on vacation, but you still want this to go out, you can do that. Otherwise, if you don't touch this, it goes out as soon as you pay for it. Okay, that's it. Last but not least, I add it to the shopping cart. There it is. I get a little recap of what I'm doing, how many emails, when is it going out, there's my discount, and once I pay for it, off it goes. I'm going to delete that because I have accidentally sent out fake e-flyers during tutorials, and then I get lots of phone calls for people interested in my fake listing. Okay, we're basically at the end, okay? We've just gone through booking a photo shoot, making our virtual tour / single property website, doing an e-flyer, which is the biggest one. And as you saw, it's really easy to do an e-flyer. And just like with photographers, a lot of our clients will use the same e-flyer template over and over and over again, or they will pick a template and they will get me to modify it and customize it for them. So you can also do that. You can tell their clients that I believe it's $20 to take one of our existing templates from our library and customize it for their needs. They can add their headshot and logo and make it part of the background. We can change the color scheme. If they want to get rid of 2 of the photo slots and just make one big one, any simple thing like that that's just modifying an existing template, I can do that for $20, and then we can put it into their library and only give them access to it. And then they like to go in, and every time they do an e-flyer, they use that same customized template, okay? Print materials. Don't fear, we are not going to go through print materials because making print materials is exactly the same as e-flyers. The only difference is that you don't blast the print material out. You save a PDF and download it, and then you can print it. The only thing I'm going to show you quickly is that in the e-flyer library, in addition to single-sided flyers, which is all you can do for our e-flyers, you have double-sided flyers, you have brochures, and then you have big and small postcards. So we have mostly the same categories, but then we just have a few extra templates, right? For a double-sided flyer, you have a front and a back. These are the things that people will want to create and then print and then have ready at the open house so they can hand out to their clients. We have a lot of clients who have brochures. Most of our brochure clients, we have made customized brochures for them to use. They update them, they load them, they love them, they send them to their own printer. I mean, a lot of people have their home offices now and they have decent little printers. So they will download a single-sided flyer and print 25 copies and take that with them. Or if you want, you can send this to the printer right from the back end, okay? So that's the only difference between making print material and an e-flyer is that you download a PDF. The actual editor is exactly the same. So if I go into double-sided, let's just click on this, select. Oh, it's going to take a second. But basically it works the exact same way. You drag your pictures into the photo slots. It'll auto-populate with all of your text, or you can type in your own text. And then we just have a tab at the top. Here's the front. So I can drag and drop my pictures over. Ding, ding, ding. I can do that for the whole thing. Or I can switch to the back. Oh, it's going to render. Sorry, I promised I would do this quickly. Here's all my stuff on the back, and then I can drag and drop more pictures over. When I'm done, I view a proof, and then the complete order page is where I download a PDF. Okay, that's it. I'm going to jump back to the home page. We are done. We basically did that in just under an hour. As I said, I kind of gave you guys a high-level view. If you want a more in-depth look, you can go to our help and support page and we have an actual video. It's really just me doing a more in-depth version of the tutorial, but you can watch it on YouTube for ordering a photo shoot, making your tour, and sending your e-flyer. If you have a client who's really interested in Realtour and really wants to learn how to use it, but you don't want to train them because you're busy and you don't use the software, right? Send them to me. I am more than happy to meet with people one-on-one and give them a full hour and a half tutorial, whatever their needs are. Maybe they only want to do e-flyers, that's fine. We can do a half-hour e-flyer tutorial. I'll turn them into an expert right from the get-go, okay? So don't ever panic about, oh my God, I need to teach people how to use this. I am more than happy to do that for you. One final thing, you guys all have sales rep accounts. So you, like me, have an admin menu in the bottom left corner. When you want to sign up a client, I have more options than you do, but you will have a sign up a client option. So if someone comes to you and they want to sign up, you can log into your account, click on sign up a client. You simply add their email address, and when you hit continue, the next page, you'll put in their first name, last name, and then you'll create an account. What that does is it assigns that person to you and gives them that 25% discount when they order products. But don't worry, if you forget to do that, or you don't know how, or you're in a panic, don't worry about it. You can always email me and say, Jana, this client wants an account. Can you assign them to me and make sure they get the 25% discount? It takes me 10 seconds to do that from my own back end. So never worry if you're not doing it right or you forget, just email me. I can take care of it for you, okay? Easy, easy, easy. All right, that brings us to the end. Does anybody have any questions?
I think you did a really good job.
Nope, all good. Yeah, it's a
Oh,
lot.
good. I know it is a lot. I always apologize for that. It's a lot, but I always say to our clients, we've designed the software so that everything kind of works the same way. Like everything is drag and drop. You can always type over top of text to update it. Everything is always saved, and so you can always leave in the middle of making a product, and don't fear because when you come back in, it will be right there saved where you left off, right? So you never have to start again. Oh, yep, go ahead.
So when we set someone up, do we have access to their account to go in and help them too, or do they have to grant us access?
No, you have access. Now I'm going to load this. You guys
Okay.
also have a search my clients page, and for some, I have every client, so this page always takes a few seconds to load. You will have a search my clients. This will pop up, and all of your clients will show up here with their contact information. If you need to call them, you can view the details of whatever is going on in their account. You can also log in as them. So if they phone you and they're having a panic attack because they can't get something to work, you can always log in as them and do whatever they need. I do it all the time for our clients. I even do it for people who are like driving and they're like, I'm driving somewhere. Can you book a photo shoot for me from David? Book this package. My credit card is stored because our clients can store their credit cards. So if they have a stored credit card in their account, they can phone me and I can book a photo shoot in their account. It'll go to their credit card, so on and so forth. So yes, you have access to your client's account so you can help them out if they've run into, a problem.
Great. Thanks so much.
Yeah, no
Yes,
problem.
Thank you very much, Jana.
Yes, no problem, you guys. I'm gonna stop recording.